Hello everyone, welcome to Graphic Designers Workshop. Let us see how to design Asokha's wheel or Asokha chakra in Illustrator. So let us start. Let us import the image, the reference image of Asokha chakra. So this is the reference image of Asokha chakra or Asokha's wheel. So we will center align this image. Here we have options: horizontal align center, and we will also vertically align it. Right. Now what we'll do is we will lock the layer. Simply lock the layer. Right. Then we will take one more layer above this Asokha's wheel layer, and in this layer we'll be starting to create our shapes and objects. Right. So now what we'll do is I will be creating one guide. So just the guide should be exactly placed at the center of our document, or we can say artboard. Right. And we will also create a vertical guide. Right. So once we have these guides, now we have to start creating the shapes. We'll start with these spikes. The spikes which are inside the wheel are 24. There are 24 spikes. So first we will create a one single spike, and then we will duplicate it. Right. So I will be selecting this polygon tool, and just click on your document. You can see here sides are 5. We need to keep 5 sides for the polygon, and simply click OK. So we have this polygon, and we can also pick the color, and we will be applying the same color. So here we have the eyedropper tool, and we can just click over this color so that the color will be applied to the polygon. Right. Then what we'll do is, so we'll just bring it over here, and then we will reduce its opacity so that we can clearly see the shape, and we can actually trace the shape. Just zoom it, and then we will select the direct selection tool, and we will start adjusting the shape according to this reference. So just we have to be careful. We can zoom and do. So here we have an option turned on, which is snap to grid. We will turn it off, and we will start adjusting the shape properly. So we can spend some time, and we can get the exact shape. Right. Right. So once we got the shape, we'll again select the shape, and here we have the opacity. We will increase the opacity to 100. That's it. Right. So what is the next step? Our next step is we have to create the duplicates of this spike. So to create duplicates, we have to select the rotate tool. So the keyboard shortcut for rotate tool is R. So we can select the rotate tool, and we have to change the center point for this rotate tool. So what we are supposed to do is we can hold Alt and Shift and just drag the center point and place it exactly over here, exactly at the center of the document. We can take the help of these guides, right? And the moment you release your mouse, you can see this rotate dialog. So what we can see in this rotate dialog is, in this rotate dialog we can see the angle, and we can also see the option copy, right? So how many copies do we want? We want 24 copies, and each of the 24 copy should rotate in an angle, in a specific angle. And what is supposed to be that angle? So we can calculate. So here we can calculate. So how we can calculate? So we have to divide 360 by 24 because we have 24 spikes. So 360 divided by 24, that comes down to 15. So we have to use the angle 15 degrees. If we use 15 degrees, we are going to get 24 duplicates. So here I have put 15 degrees in this input field, and we'll simply click copy, and we will just hit Ctrl plus D. So we need to keep hitting Ctrl plus D, right? So now we will just hide the reference image, and we can see here we got all the spikes, right? So now we are left with the circles. So we can see the circles here. Here we can see the circles, the small circles. So we'll now start creating those circles. Let us turn on layer 2, and we will take one more layer. So it is always a good idea to take a separate layer for these circles, right? So now we will select the ellipse and simply hold Shift so that we are going to get a perfect ellipse. And now we will just try to reduce its opacity so that we can see the reference, and just zoom the image so we can adjust it properly. Just adjust it, right? So now we got the ellipse. We will again increase the opacity, right? So we will do the same thing. We will change its center point. I will keep the center point of this circle at the center of the artboard or document. So how we are going to do it? Simply activate the rotate tool by hitting R, and we will now use Alt and Shift to change the center point for this ellipse. Alt and Shift, and simply keep the center point exactly at the center of the artboard where the two guides intersect, right? And then release the mouse. The moment you release the mouse, you can see this rotate dialog, and we can see 15-degree angle here. So we will use the same angle value to create duplicates of these circles. Simply select copy, right, and simply start hitting Ctrl plus D. Right. So now we'll just hide the reference. So we can see here. So we got the circles and we got the spikes. That's it. We are almost done. We only need a big circle at the center of our Asokha chakra and also an outline around this Asokha chakra. So let us finish off our Ashoka's wheel. Right. So now what we'll do is simply we will select the ellipse tool and we'll take one more layer and we can actually turn on the reference and we will place this ellipse exactly at the center of our artboard. So we can just use this align horizontal centers and also align vertical center. So now our ellipse is exactly placed at the center of the document, and we can also reduce the opacity and check. Right. So we will scale it down and match it to the reference. Right. So now what we'll do is we will take one more duplicate of this, but before that we will increase the opacity here. So we'll make the opacity 100%, and now we will take a duplicate exactly on top of this ellipse. So we have to use a keyboard shortcut Ctrl C and Ctrl F. So Ctrl F means paste in the front, and we got a duplicate exactly on top of the original. Now all we have to do is we have to center scale it. So we will just center scale our shape. So simply use Alt and Shift and center scale the shape. Right. So we got the shape, but here we want only the stroke. So what we can do is, so we can change the fill to a stroke simply by selecting this swap fill. Right. And we will just turn off the reference. Right. So now what we'll do is we will increase the stroke size. So we have to increase it. Right. And we will also reduce its size, and we have to center scale it. Right. That's it. And then we need to remove these guides. So we can simply delete these guides. That's it. So we have completed the Asokha chakra, and now we will export this Ashoka's wheel. So simply we will reduce the size of this artboard by using Shift plus O, and we will crop it to the size of this Ashoka's wheel. Right. So now we will export it. Go to File, Export, and we can export it as a PNG. So we'll select the PNG and we will give it the name Ashoka's wheel, or you can also call it Asokha chakra. Right. And we can slightly adjust it in case we think there is some issue here. So we can actually just adjust it. Yeah, just a small adjustment here. Right. And I will export it one more time. So just we'll replace the one we have just now saved. That's it. So this is the Ashoka's wheel which we have created in a very quick and simple way in Illustrator. So I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy the tutorial. It's a very quick tutorial. So please do subscribe, like, share, and if you have anything to say, do comment. See you again.